At midnight, a strange signal abruptly pierced the silence, appearing in the town's radio waves. When the town's residents first heard this peculiar sound, they assumed it was just a technical glitch. However, the radio waves continued to deteriorate, and the sound began to echo irregularly at an odd frequency. Most people were asleep, but those who heard the strange signal awoke with unease and turned on their radios. The signal started spreading with increasing intensity, ensnaring more and more people with each passing second. Those who ventured outside created a crowd moving toward the town center. The signal had created chaos and an atmosphere of fear. Townsfolk sat by their radios, trying to decipher the reason behind this strange sound. But the origin of the signal remained elusive. Although the sound carried no meaning in words, it clearly conveyed that something was amiss. The large radio tower in the town square was the source of the strange signal. The crowd advanced toward the tower, intending to follow the signal. However, as they neared the tower, an unsettling feeling overcame them. The tower was illuminated with an eerie light and surrounded by shapes appearing in the sky. Suddenly, the signal ceased abruptly, and a dark silence enveloped the town. People turned off their radios and decided to return. But the town was no longer the same. Homes stood empty and appeared to have vanished without a trace. For a moment, only the tower remained in place. Terrified townsfolk began searching for their loved ones, who seemed to have vanished under the influence of the strange signal. However, no one could yet understand what this dark mystery was or how it had affected the townspeople. The townsfolk, lost in the dark shadows surrounding the radio tower, were struggling to understand where the strange signal had taken them. In the second part, we will follow the story of a group of brave individuals who set out to unravel this mysterious event and try to discover the town's terrifying secrets. A group of courageous people, coming together to search for the missing residents of the town and uncover the mystery of the strange signal, began to make their way through the dark shadows around the radio tower. Each step was filled with captivating tension, because the town's mystery could affect others before being fully unraveled. As the group approached the tower, they felt drawn by a strange source of energy, as if it were pulling them. When they reached the tower, peculiar phenomena related to the tower became even more pronounced. Bizarre shapes appearing in the sky began to circle around. As they got closer to the tower, mysterious symbols and writings began to emerge under the lights. Suddenly, a voice echoed around the tower. "Welcome to our world," it said. The group members turned around, trying to locate the source of the voice. However, this voice had no visible source. It felt as if it were emanating from some kind of entity within the radio waves. The voice continued, "You are trapped in our world. We offer you a choice. You can join us to reclaim your town, or you can remain trapped here for eternity." The group members had to quickly make a decision among themselves. They wanted to return to their town, but joining the strange being's world was also filled with risks. In the end, one member gathered their courage and responded, "We will reclaim our town, no matter what." The voice fell silent for a moment, then said, "Then let's begin." Suddenly, with the lights appearing around the radio tower, the group members vanished and found themselves back on the streets of their town in an instant. However, when they returned, they noticed that their town was no longer the same. It had changed under the influence of the signal, and its residents had undergone a transformation. Strangeness and fear had permeated every corner of the town. The radio tower still stood at the center of the town, but it was now silent and dark. The group continued to advance without knowing what they would encounter in this new world, filled with secrets. The fear of the radio, the dark secrets of the town, and the mystery of the strange signal continued to lead them on a journey. Who knew what real terrifying secrets and dangers lay in this new world? But these brave individuals were willing to risk everything to reclaim their town. As the group explored the altered state of the town, they began to understand what the strange signal had changed. While wandering through the neighborhood's side streets, they realized that they were being guided by a mysterious entity under the influence of the signal. This entity claimed to be the source of the signal itself. The entity explained that it heralded the awakening of an ancient power rooted in the town's past. The town's residents were told that they needed to help seize control of this power, and restore their town to its former state. However, before embarking on this mission, the group members wanted to learn what had become of the transformed residents of the town and what the strange symbols meant. During their research, they stumbled upon traces of an old curse that had haunted the town's history. The curse had been initiated by a powerful and malevolent sorcerer who was once among the few most powerful and evil individuals in the town. This sorcerer had harnessed the town's energy to cause harm and fulfill his dark purpose. However, in the process, he had created his own creatures and corrupted the town's spirit. The group, by tracing the dark story from the town's past, discovered how the curse could be broken. The sorcerer's creations were sustaining the power of the symbols, so the group members decided to neutralize these symbols. After a challenging struggle, the group managed to destroy the symbols scattered throughout the town and break the curse. The town slowly began to return to its former state. The original residents returned to the streets of the town, behaving as if the changes had never occurred. The radio tower fell silent and ceased broadcasting the strange signal. The group members felt they had saved their town and unraveled its mysteries. However, they had unforgettable experiences, and those who had lived through this terrifying adventure would always be aware of the dark secrets beneath a radio signal. The radio fear had come to an end, but the dark story from the town's past remained a memory that everyone would recall. The group members left with pride, having restored their town to its former peaceful state and journeyed from darkness into light. After the extraordinary adventure in which they saved their town, the group members decided to go their separate ways. The town was no longer a place under the curse of the strange signal. Its residents had once again begun to live in peace. However, the group members would never forget their experiences. This ordeal had brought them together and helped them confront their fears. Each of them was now stronger and braver. Years passed, but there were still those who remembered the town's incident. People continued to investigate the source of the strange signal and the dark secrets from the town's past. Some sought to uncover the true purpose of the signal, while others delved into how the sorcerer's curse had come about. The radio tower stood quietly in the center of the town. Now a relic, the peculiarity of the signal was not forgotten, but it no longer ruled over the town. Although the group members had gone their separate ways, their bond never broke. Occasionally, they would come together to reminisce about the fearful memories they shared and to try to understand the events of the past. The town was now remembered with a story, but the tale of the radio fear, set in the world of secrets and fears, remained a turning point in these people's lives. The dark secrets of the town and the radio signal were now behind them, but their experiences had made them stronger and forever changed their lives. Years passed, and the town's residents left the strange signal incident behind. They now told the story as a scary tale to their children, and the radio tower had been buried in silence since they had destroyed the symbols. The group members continued with their lives, each choosing different paths. However, over time, the terrifying adventure they had lived through had made them better individuals. Thanks to their courage, resilience, and determination, these people were more resilient in the face of life's challenges. One day, the group members decided to return to their town. The town had fully returned to its old state, leaving behind the days when silence had prevailed. The group members mingled with the town's residents and began to share the memories of the event. The radio tower still stood silently in the center of the town. However, it no longer broadcast the signal or concealed dark secrets. It had become a mere structure, but for the townspeople, it was a historical memory. The group members held a respected and beloved position among the townsfolk. Their courage and sacrifices had turned into a legend in the town's memory. Every year, the townspeople would gather around the radio tower and commemorate the memory of that terrifying night. The town's past had now become a story, but this tale demonstrated the bravery, resilience, and the ability of people to come together and overcome challenges. The radio fear had come to an end, but its impact on people's lives would last forever, and so, the quiet streets of the town were now filled with hope instead of fear.